We've just seen Manchester City beat Steaua Bucharest, however you pronounce that name, 5-0. Pep Guardiola's first game in Europe, and it ended with a goal fest. Sergio Aguero doesn't need penalties. He can score a hat-trick and miss 2 penalties because it doesn't even matter. I mean, how good was that, Stephen?
It was brilliant. It's almost like Aguero decided he just give him, it was an unfair advantage to have the penalties as well and score. But that was beautiful. That was exactly what I hoped to see under Guardiola's Man City. I wanted to see inventiveness. I wanted to see creativity, like nuance to the game. I wanted to see flair, work rate, players just moving around, the person on the ball, actual kind of real tactical incisiveness. And we saw all that. It was great. It was the first glimpse of what Guardiola could bring to Man City, and I got goosebumps watching that. I genuinely did. I loved it. It was fantastic. It is only Steaua Bucharest, and it will have much sterner challenges than that, and that will happen over the course of the season. And there'll be times when we slip up, but that was what we hoped to see from Guardiola. I think there's been times you spoke to Real Madrid fan channel, didn't you, about how there wasn't necessarily a trademark on the team.
Yeah, when we went over there, and it was a bit of a letdown in the end. A Champions League semi-final. We should have gone there. We should have gone all out to win. And it felt like City went there without a game plan, and we just kind of turned over for what was a weak game for Real Madrid. It was one of the weakest I've ever seen Real Madrid, and they were there for the taking, and we didn't. And yeah, one of the guys from Real Galacticos said, you looked at that game, you looked at City, and you didn't know what Pellegrini had told them. Yeah. You watch this game now, and you know exactly what Pep Guardiola
said. You can see it, and you can see what the team has to do. They're all pressing. They all want the ball. There's intensity. It looks like a Guardiola team after 2 games, and that is immensely encouraging. You can see players that have obviously taken to the style that he wants. Kolarov, one of the biggest beneficiaries. He was up and down all night. He won as a penalty as well. He was creating chances. He was working really hard. Obviously, these players want to play for a manager of that stature. That, to me, is evident. These do want to impress him. All these players want to be part of this future because they know they're onto a good thing here, and I was absolutely loving watching that because it was just good football played well with intensity. No one shirked their responsibilities. Everyone put in a shift, which is the bare minimum you'd expect. But they all played well, and there was movement around the ball. And Sterling, how good was he?
Yeah, it's great. It looks like we've seen a new Raheem Sterling, the Sterling that we signed, and the Sterling that was only in pre-season when we first got him. That looks like he was the quality that we thought he was going to be. And since then, he's not really set the world alight. But it's looking ever more evident, like we presumed, like you've said in the past, that it was because of the way he was told to play. He maybe didn't get that push from Pellegrini. He's been now switched onto the other wing. He's taking on players left, right, and centre. He's doing cheeky little chops with the back of his heels. It's absolutely insane.
It's almost like he just needed a manager to encourage him. He's the kind of person that obviously needs that motivation, that real kind of desire and that passion, kind of pushing him onto better things. And he's taken this, and he looks reinvigorated. He looks like the player that we actually signed. I remember him running as ragged against Liverpool. Every time we played them, I feared his pace because he was a little bit raw, but he was just so skillful and attacking and direct, and he scored goals, created chances. And that's what we signed. And Guardiola came out after the game and said he was absolutely amazing, and that cheeky Man City did a great job signing him last year. And yes, maybe 50 million was overpriced, but he has a lot of potential. He's so young still, and tonight we saw glimpses of what he could be at City. And for both of the games so far, he's been brilliant, creating goals. That assist for Silva's goal, magic. Winning the ball as well by pressing up with a really high intensity. Then the little kind of flick back, and then the pass to Silva. I love it. I actually love it, genuinely.
Unbelievable. Who do you think was man of the match for that game? It's very difficult to say. I don't know who was officially the man of the match, actually.
It's weird because normally you would plump straight on the hat-trick goal scorer. but,
that says it all, doesn't it?
But he missed 2 penalties as well. I just for the sake of it, because it's a statement, I want to give it to Sterling because I thought he works exceptionally hard. I thought Silva was everywhere. He looked alive in that system. He was finding pockets of space. De Bruyne's passing Nolito's goal as well. Yeah. That 4th goal. That was the highlight of the game. The one-touch passing between Aguero, Silva, everyone just moving around.
It was absolutely sick, wasn't it? I think, I just said that. But yeah, and I think a final last word has to go to Steaua Bucharest.
Nolito, though. I mentioned Nolito straight away because he was good as well. And he's on his second ever game for City, and he looked functional, effective, a real incisive kind of goal threat that perhaps lacked at times coming in for out wide. But yes, the real star of this game was whoever runs Steaua Bucharest Twitter. Because they were flamboyant.
Yeah, we got told that we're nothing but an oil club. It was quite hilarious. It turns out that maybe it's not their official one, which is a big shame because they brought the banter to football. They're absolutely bitter. And I'm hoping it was the official one. It was so funny. But City have done a job in Europe. I can't remember the last time I've gone into a second leg of a game thinking, wow, well, that's it. We don't really need to do anything. And I'm hoping that Pep Guardiola's Manchester City team is going to be one that puts these kind of teams to bed.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about them and freak out and hope that City-itis and typical City comes every single time. And we're going to perform to our abilities, because that's what we should be doing, because we've got one of the best squads in Europe as well as in England. So, what did you make of that, guys? Let us know in the comments below. We absolutely loved it. What do you think Pep's going to do for his next week when we play the return leg? Is he going to play a load of kids?
And
is
Stoke as well.
And Stoke, yeah.
Yes, can he do it away at Stoke on a mild Saturday evening? We're going to find out. The big questions.
This is the one that everyone was looking for. This is the one everyone wants Pep Guardiola to lose, so he has to win. Guys, let us know. Get in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you for Stoke.